All right, I think it's going. Yeah. Okay. You ready? You ready? All right, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Houston. We have a problem. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. Things had to get done. Okay. Bitcoin went wild today for absolutely no reason, especially for the fact that like all weekend, mainstream media, crypto guys, finance analysts are all saying that Tether is toast and that everyone at Binance is going to prison. What's up? Why on earth would Bitcoin be getting pumped right now when there's a rug pull coming? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Trying to get people to YOLO, I guess. Do you know, Monkey? She doesn't. She doesn't know at all. Neither of us know. We can't tell you. Looks like First Republic is toast. They've not been seized yet, but their stock price is gone. See people noting GTII is up 25%. Their data record is on the 15th, which is Friday? Today is 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. That'd be Saturday. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, the data record's on Saturday for some reason. Which means you got to buy by Thursday, tomorrow. Not sure how the T+2 will work on that. I think T+2 only works on business days, so I think you have to buy by tomorrow to get it by Friday to have the whatever by Saturday. Everything else just kind of sideways today. That's all the news I got off the bat. So, meh. Off. Other ones off. Everything off. No second intro. Okay, so got all the headlines out of the way right off the top. I guess we'll just dive right into what you folks want to talk about, because I got nothing. Okay. Andrew Stewart, Houston, what are the best ways to invest for an incoming credit crunch? Well, I mean, do it the way the others do it. Credit default swaps, puts, inverse ETFs, gold. If you have cash and everything collapses, you can pick up real estate for cheap at auction. Those, if everyone have good ones, those are the big ones that pop into my brain. Picking up stuff cheap at auction. You're getting lots of offers to put money in, like large sums of money into accounts at fairly high interest rates right now. I've had several people in the last few days send me emails showing like, hey, my bank is offering 5.19% if I put 25,000 in and leave it for a year, 25,000 or more and leave it for a year, up to like 2 million or something. And so, if you don't want to worry about the entire economy collapsing and you want to get 5% gains on your money, easy peasy, just throw it into that bank account, because the bottom will fall out. Was the IMF and World Bank today announced that if inflation doesn't come under control, that a hard landing for the economy is coming. So that's in the works, I guess. So take note of that and remember it, because the big boys are announcing the economy is going to collapse. Goldman says that they're expecting a Q2 recession. And we just started Q2. So economy's going to shrink and we're going to be here for it. Okay. Aaron Salentine, GTII up 25% today. Molasses Go, dividend coming out April 15th. Is it dividend or is it data record April 15th? That's what I thought it was, data record April 15th. Might be dividend. I thought, whatever. Something's coming on the 15th. So get it while you can. Greg, after the AMC conversion and we are sitting at $40-$50, They can drop it back down to where we are now. Yes. They absolutely can. It won't be too hard to do, I think, simply because AMC's got to sell, and they have to sell a lot, like billions and billions and billions. Basically, double the number of shares that will exist, and they're gonna have to sell those, be able to pay off the debt they want to pay off. So the price will come down quite a bit. I still have the feeling that Adam Aaron will sell directly to a hedge fund, and that will screw us because it will give hedge funds an overwhelming majority ownership in the company. Like 75% of the company could be owned by a hedge fund, depending on how many shares they sell. So that sucks. Plus, Adam Aaron, selling slowly at market is what GME would do. But I don't know if Adam Aaron has the patience for that. I think he just I want to take all your shares, sell them now. And so he'll find somebody to make a deal with. You want 100 million shares for $3 billion? Take it. And then that'll be that. They'll pay off a majority of their debt and they'll be happy. Until the hedge fund puts their people on the board and insiders in and then destroys the company from the inside all over again. And we get to do 2.0 of this whole thing. Belgian whale. I was in Bacalar, Mexico, in the lagoon. They have the largest body of sweetwater stromatolites in the world, which they only discovered to be stromatolites 6-7 years ago. Look at it and explain, please. Okay. Bacalar, Mexico, sweetwater stromatolites. 3 billion-year-old underwater life forms. Okay. Come on. Click. I gotta go there. I gotta go there. I gotta go there. I gotta go there. All right. Let me close that. Let me close that one. All right. All right. So, famous for its brilliant 7 shades of blue, Lake Bacalar is home to an ancient population of stromatolites that are around 3.5 billion years old. So these would be among the original stromatolites, because stromatolites started photosynthesizing about 3.5 billion years ago. So that's cool. All right. There. That's some stromatolites. They only just discovered these. Looks like they're right there. Yeah. Okay. Got any more? There's some stromatolites. How did they only just discover? They're huge. How did they only just discover them? Okay, so cauliflower stromatolites only still exist in a few locations globally, and Bacalar's population reveal history frozen in time, such as the temperature or the geochemical composition of the water millions of years ago. That's because they actually preserve the physiochemical conditions of the water in their incredibly slow sedimentation process. Crucially, stromatolites also help recycle elements. The microbes that make up the stromatolite take carbon from the CO2 in the air and put it into the lake floor's carbonate to store it. It basically makes limestone. Their above water counterpart stromatolites actively improve our environment, but the problem facing stromatolites is twofold. Falcon said the lake is fed by a 450 kilometer underground river that is part of the world's largest water cave and tunnel system along the Yucatan Peninsula. It is actually good for stromatolites. The carbonate rock of the tunnels is thought to make them grow larger than normal, pillowing out on the surface of the lagoon. Okay, any more pictures of them? I don't see any stromatolites in there. Maybe those dark things or some. That's a cool little river. That'd be fun to swim in. Is this Belgian whale? Is this water brackish or is it all fresh water? That's cool. Well, I mean, they're ancient. They're among the first life forms to photosynthesize, and yeah, is this another one about it? Stromatolites, oldest living life form. These are the Mexican ones, or these Australian? Indian Ocean. Okay, Western Australia. Yeah. So these are the ones in Australia, the stromatolites. That's life forms. Rocky life forms made of a whole bunch of little microbes that just kind of pillow onto each other. They're cool, man. Well, I mean, I don't know what to explain about them. They're microbes. They suck nutrients out of the water, eat some sunshine, make some carbonate because they suck the carbon out of everything and lay it down. They also suck a lot of other things out. When the Earth was heavily CO2, back when they first formed, iron didn't rust. And so it could take native iron out of the soil and pack it in and it wouldn't rust. And so I think we talked about this in the past. Ancient stromatolites formed these things called banded iron formations, which look really cool. Like when you find one and you thin section it and polish it, it looks like a tiger stripes. Let's see here. Polished banded iron. Looks kind of like this. So the red stuff in here is iron. It makes really cool tiger stripes. Each red stripe is iron in there. They're really neat. This is the entire reason why the auto industry was based in Michigan. It was because ancient stromatolites that had tons of iron in them was iron ore that they used to make steel, which they used to then produce all the cars. So all your major auto manufacturers were based in Detroit because that's where the iron was. And that's how you streamline things. Hence Motor City. It's all because of these guys. So these are ancient ones. These ones are billions of years old. Long dead. Right, monkey? What you got? Oh, you got your thing? Chewing on it? Okay, good dog. Yeah. So they're super neat. Some of them can be like really vibrant. Look at these guys. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Yeah. There it is, native. That's what it looks like as native rock. Hasn't been polished yet. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at those stripes. Oh, there's a big one. Stripey, 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 stripey. Yeah. Michigan right there. Boom. That'll be a car someday. Okay. Guitar stuff. Houston. I taught 8th graders about divergent boundaries this morning, and it felt prepared because of the show. Okay. Lots of ways I've not watched Pick of Destiny. Oh my gosh. I've not seen a Super Mario movie either. I haven't been to a movie theater in months. When was the last thing I saw in the movie theater, monkey? So long. I can't remember. I can't remember the last time I went to a movie theater. Just do this show all the time. Don't make it to a movie theater. Chad, almost Batman, Clifford. Houston, hit me with some fun facts about Jupiter. Thanks. Jupiter is one of 2 planets in our solar system that contains a liquid metallic hydrogen. And it is a superconductor. It is denser than the Earth's surface, even though it's made of hydrogen because of the pressure. It has a gigantic magnetic field as a result because a superconductor makes for a hell of an electrical field, which makes a magnetic field because it's moving charges through the atmosphere, through the solar system. The eye of Jupiter is larger than Earth and has been raging for as long as we have peered at the surface of Jupiter. So since Galileo was the first one to see the eye of Jupiter. Monkey, do you have anything to add to that one? You're just staring at me. What'd you do with your... Finish your bone. Finish your bone. Your bone right there. Yeah. Jupiter's moons are volcanically active. The center of Jupiter is likely a giant diamond because all the carbon would be so packed in that it would turn into a diamond. What else, monkey? What else we got? What other Jupiter facts can we do? Jupiter has its own asteroid belts. So it's got asteroids that are about a third of the distance away in its orbit from the sun and a third of distance behind it. The trail along in the is it L... Those L2s? I can't remember my Lagrange points, monkey. That might be L2 and L3. Yeah, whatever. That's enough facts for you. Pen name. If there's 30 billion naked shorts, and if Amazon buys AMC, And since it won't squeeze, will it wipe out any hedgies or will they survive? Well, I don't know if there's 30 billion naked shorts on AMC. I'm sure there's probably in the billions. 30 billion might be crazy, insane high. Depending on the price that Amazon would agree to purchase it for, not necessarily. So if Amazon says, hey, I'll give you $10 a share for AMC and we'll buy you, then that price gets set for any naked share out there. So anyone that holds a share that is a counterfeit, the hedge fund will just give them $10 for it and be over. And if there's, 5 billion naked shares out there, they're going to be paying $50 billion collectively to pay that off. That might be doable because they just did it with Twitter. So they might be able to come up with that cash. If Amazon says, hey, I'm going to buy your company for $100 a share, that's a whole nother story, and that would wipe everyone out. Yeah. Some of them might be screwed, but most of them, I think, would figure out a way to get by, at least momentarily. Man, you're making just the grossest sound with that thing, aren't you? Must be delicious. Okay. Houston, hit me with some fun facts about Uranus. I only got one. And it's full of, it's got 14 Earths worth of water in it. Also has rings. Did you know that? There's a ring around Uranus. Jason Blackwell. I'm not reading that one. Corey Jones, Houston, should I sell my Bitcoin up $7? Get out. Did any of you get like the free $25 of Bitcoin from Venmo? They gave it to me last spring when Bitcoin was like $60,000 and it's like $15 now. $13. Woo! Fabrizio, can we discuss our trip to Eye of Africa once we MOAS? I'm trying to figure out how to get there. You guys really want me to go there, don't you? Fine. I'll show you how to get there. Google Earth. Okay, we're currently in the Aegean. Head south. Head over. Go to Mauritania. Okay. So, this is the guy. That's where we want to go, right? This crypto volcanic structure here in the middle of the Sahara Desert. The way you'd get there is you'd probably, my guess, either fly into Morocco or fly into like Senegal. Probably Senegal. Go to Dakar. Road trip up to the border, Mauritania. I can never say Mauritania. And there's a train that my friend John took. He's a foreign correspondent for a bunch of newspapers back in the day. And he took the train and like you literally like sit on the back of a coal train or an iron train. I think it's an iron ore train. And it just passes through the desert. And it stops these little towns that seem like they're nothing. I mean, we zoom in here and that's a town. You can see these tiny little huts. They have a little dirt road that goes through. I don't see the train on this one, so this is not one of the ones where the train stopped. But where is the train? Can we mark the train? If I mark roads, does that help? Train. There's the N1. Here's a railroad. So you can probably rent a truck and do this N1 road, which looks paved. This looks like paved. So there you go. It's one of those roads that you can drive for hundreds of miles and not have to make a turn. Those are always neat. It's like the Australian outback. I mean, this sucker just goes and goes and goes. Takes you out into the mountains here, which then you can go right. Oh, hey, the road goes all the way here. So you can drive it all the way here. So you got yourself a Land Rover. Look at this little city, though. This is a cool little city. It's a little medieval desert village. Got a few trees. This would be a cool town to visit. I wonder what it looks like. What's it called? It's got a bakery. Qasar El Khali. Does it have any pictures for me? Nope, no pictures. Let's see if there's any pictures on the internet. I'm curious. I am curious. Images. Gotta turn off the Google Earth for a second. Okay, well there's Sar El Khali. Well, they got a desert resort. That's kind of cool. You can go hang out at this place. That's neat. Kasbah. That's even. Hey, this is a cool town. Look at this. All right, interesting photos. Looks like ruins, old walls. Hotel in the desert. That's awesome. Let's go there. Look at this place. How rad is that? Okay, I'm game. Let's go. There's the town itself. Oh, that's Yemen. Never mind. That's not it's not the same town at all. That's Yemen. I want Qasr Al Khali. Things to see. Well, maybe they got some more for us. Once we all have our Earth roamers, you know, we want like a real shower and a real bed. We'll stop off the hotels there and check it out. Come on, about blank. Make a website for me. There we go. Okay. This is it. That's all the information they have. That's pumped out by AI. Cool travel planner. Meanwhile, so yeah, we can get there by road. Google Earth. Google Earth. Come on. Back to Google Earth. So we can drive there. I swear there's a giant train that my friend took. That's a cool dry wash canyon too. I also like that thing. And then we can go check it out. I think the iron mine is on the backside of this thing, if I remember correctly. So the train must be somewhere here-ish. What if I go... Martinia... gotta go there... Train. Oops, wrong one. No, that one. I want to turn you off. Go there. Okay. Mauritania Railway. National Railway, Mauritania construction line began in 1960. 704-kilometer long railway linking the iron mining center of Zorat with the port of Nauhibo. I'll not be able to pronounce any of these things. So it goes okay, so it goes right along the border with it. So it goes. Oh, you guys can't see because I don't have the right one on. I gotta turn this back on. So it goes along the border, and the iron mine is up here. What's it called? Where am I? Houdat. So it goes all the way up here. Iron mine's up here. That must be the iron mine. Or not. That's just a big piece of black rock. Where's the iron mine? Where are you, iron mine? For Morgan. Avon. Crampel. I don't know. It's somewhere up there. Back to turn you off. Turn you back on. Okay. Okay, so traffic trains on the railway up to 3 kilometers, 1.9 miles in length, making among the longest and heaviest in the world. It consists of 3 or 4 diesel-electric EMD locomotives, 210 cars each, carrying up to 84 tons of iron ore. That's a lot. Total traffic averages 16.6 million tons per year. That's a lot of tons. So that's what the locomotive looked like. Yeah, so my friend, like, you just ride on top of like an iron slag and head out there. That just seems like a cool ride too. Glencore Company paid $1 billion for 18 years access to the rail and port infrastructure, which connected to branch lines. So they're making a lot of money off of this if they're paying $1 billion for that. Oh, however, Glencore backed out of the project just 1 year later after the price of iron ore tumbled nearly 40%. Oh, well. Wow. So they... Oops. Oh. Well, cool. Cool. I want to look at the pictures. Images. Yeah, so like people ride on top of the slag. There you go. There's a wedding photo on top of the iron slag. So that's what you do. Take this railway, just ride on top of a pile of dirt, put some goggles, cover your face, and go. And there's some hippies doing the travel. Got mail packages, lots of belongings. That'd be a neat experience. I'm all for that. Hop the rails, ride like a hobo. That's cool. Goats. Got some goats riding the rail. That's awesome. So there's a lifetime experience right there. I mean, you've got to go to the bathroom, just take a shit in front of everyone. I don't know. Avert your eyes. I'm going to take a dump off the side of the rail. But there's a couple passenger cars. There's a passenger car. Everything else is up top. That's cool. Let's do it. I'm all about that. Okay, pen name. Cash App creator Bob Lee murdered. He's also into crypto, another crypto bro murder, or associated with FedNow app. Any conspiracy theory comments? I would be... My conspiracy hat popped on. When I saw that he was murdered, I immediately thought, oh, there's been a giant federal investigation opened up into Cash App over money laundering. And it freely allowing it to happen and knowing that the money laundering was happening. You were just a sweet little dog. And so my thought is it's a hit. Stabbings like that don't really happen in that neighborhood of San Francisco. My guess is he was targeted. Now, do I have any proof for that? No. But this is the type of thing that like begins the opening of every detective show is some random guy seems to get hit with a random stabbing, and then they got to do a giant investigation, figure out, no, it wasn't the homeless person, no, it wasn't the criminal, it was in fact he was tied up with some sort of mafia, and they ordered a hit to make it look like one of the homeless people. That's what it says to me. It says television script. What? It is way too early. I know you're looking at it. It's way too early, dude. Way too early. You gotta wait a little while. So yeah, my conspiracy brain is going. I doubt it has anything to do with FedNow. Maybe it has something to do with crypto, but I think more than anything it has to do with the giant criminal investigation going in about from Square and Cash App and all those things. Spartan, bonjour, Houston. Your thoughts on BBBY buyout? BK man, it's tempting to take a chance at 30 cents. I took some chances at 30 cents. So I was talking with the guys on the PP show last week. I mean, there's lots of confidence going on there. There are assets worth much, much more than we can buy the company for right now. Yeah, they got a mountain of debt, but the right group that buys it could easily vaporize that debt overnight and quantify the value of the brands within Bed Bath & Beyond that collectively are worth way more. It's like parting out a car. You can sell the car for $1,000, or you can part it out and make $10,000 on it. That's the way I think I see what they're going to do, is that they're going to get the brands into other stores. They're going to spin out Bye Bye Baby as its own entity, maybe a wholly owned subsidiary, maybe a complete carve out. I don't know. But that alone is worth billions. So you get the billions from that for $100 million, $60 million, whatever you can buy the company for right now at this price. It's a screaming deal. So why wouldn't someone put together some equity to do that? I don't have $60 million to do it, but I'll do my small part. Right, monkey? Wait. You want to come say hi? Yeah, you do. There you go. Yeah, she's just staring at me. Just a little staring dog. Needs a face rub. Helicopter ears. Okay. Where am I? Okay. The Acme subreddit is under heavy shill attack. Well, yeah. There's not very many people who spend that time in the subreddit, so it's easy for hedge funders to quickly overwhelm everyone. It's not like it's harder on a big thing like Super Stonk where there's hundreds of thousands of people for the shills to take over. But yeah, I totally get that. Chris Alves? James Wood sucks. I'm just saying. Well, yeah. he's kind of a terrible person. Philip Clayton, Houston. Any idea on when Acme parent company will be releasing any kick-ass tech to market? 4,000 shares holding long-term. Just want to know what you think will be their cash cow. If I were a company like Acme, I would definitely be looking into marketing, the film that can go over glass, windows, things like that. So you can have like microwaves that you can look right into and not have to try to look through that Faraday cage. That would be the big things that I would look forward to. You could definitely, any company that would have that as their glass would dominate the home appliance market. Dude, what is it? What is it? Why are you staring at me so much? You're so demanding. Get up on your bed. On your bed. Come on your bed. Go up there. Stay right there. Just not yet. It's too early. Just staring. Looking up, staring. Also, you can use that same film for antennas on phones. So you can reduce the internal cost of phones. You can make them even thinner and better reception. They can be used to defrost windows on cars, heads-up displays, all sorts of different things. So those are the things I'd be looking for in the near future to come out of a fictitious company called Acme. We wild. Bitcoin's on a march. Just more space for it to crash down. Yeah. Chris Alves, what's Gad Saad? So Gad Saad. He is a professor of marketing at a college in Montreal. He's in the Jordan Peterson sphere. He's just kind of a bigot, and he posted just really homophobic thing yesterday, and I made fun of him. I was like, look at this guy. Says he's an evolutionary behaviorologist, but really he's just a marketing professor. And he lost his mind. He got so offended. And he was like, he kept quote tweeting me and then trying to get his like 700,000 people to make fun of me. And most of his fans just kind of knuckle draggers and aren't that bright. So it was really hard for them to actually make fun of me. And he was like, I'll have you know, I have 45 pages of my CV of scientific of papers I've published. And I murdered him, and I said something to the effect of bragging about your CV in marketing is kind of like bragging about being the leading scorer in a children's basketball tournament. And then I was like, oh, let's do a deep dive into the Pepsi challenge. And he got really upset. And then he said that I was obviously an anti-Semite and I hated Jews. And then when I pointed out that I'm Jewish, he blocked me. And he still went on as a quote tweet just for like hours. I really damaged that man's soul to the core. Anyway, a whole bunch of his little sycophants showed up and were trying to rip on me on my Twitter timeline. And it was just a good day all around. It was fun. So, if any of those dorks are in here right now, make yourselves known. I would love to individually make fun of each and every one of you if you happen to be in here. But yeah, he's just a pathetic dweeb. He got really butthurt when I was like, yeah, you don't actually study evolution. That's biology. You do marketing. He's like, I do evolution and behavioral sciences. I'm like, you don't. You don't do any science whatsoever. And he was very, 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 very sad about that. Okay. I just lost my spot again. Okay. Where? Okay, that's the Gad Saad. Okay. Len Hernandez, Houston. When is it all going to come crumbling down? Also treats from monkey butt. Oh, well, someone just said the word. And she, look at her. She gave up. She was like, oh, it's not happening. But then I was just told by a viewer. I'll explain when it's all crumbling within days or weeks. That's where we are. That's where we are. It's all crumbling very, very soon. I don't think the banks have liquidity. I don't think hedge funds have liquidity. I don't think pension funds have liquidity. I don't think anybody has real liquidity right now. And they don't really have the permission to release their cash from reverse repo because we're still trying to bring down inflation. So there's going to be nothing coming to be a savior. We've seen things like Capital One no longer doing floor plans, which is providing lending to car dealerships to purchase cars from manufacturers to sell them. They'll still do car loans, but they don't do the loans for the car dealership to get the car. It's going to be a giant mess. So it's just a liquidity crunch all around. You got companies like Wells Fargo doesn't do mortgages anymore, doesn't do personal lines of credit, doesn't do business loans. If you're a bank and you're not lending, what are you? Right? If you're not doing any lending, then you serve no actual purpose to the economy, and your bank should disappear. That's where we are. So, yeah, it's coming down soon. Anyway, the important thing. Oh, somebody. Oh, that's right. I had to use. They moved because they're on top of my scanner, and I was like, they moved. But I had to use my scanner the other day. Oh, look at that. The reaction time was insane. Just such quick. You're so fast. Yes, you are. You are a fast dog. You're a fast dog, and I just smell so beefy. Okay. Gotta do one for the camera. Okay, don't step on the keyboard. All right, come get this one. Okay, come get this one. It's right up here. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. It's right there. Come on. Come on. Come on, get it. It's right there. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's right there, monkey. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, there you go. All right. Okay. Belgian whale, Dalai Lama wanted a kid to suck his tongue. What's that all about? Yeah. I mean, there seems to be three truths in life. You got death, taxes, and religious leaders or kid diddlers. That seems to be what it is. It was much worse than what the Dalai Lama's people were saying. They're saying, oh, I just gave a kid and he's trying to joke with him. And sometimes jokes just don't land. Like, no, he kissed the kid on the lips and then told the kid to suck his tongue. Don't do that. I don't care what culture you're in. I don't care where you are in the world. That is not normal. Don't do that. So, yeah, creepy is creepy. Deck P, Houston, your beloved leader is on our patch now. What did we do to deserve this? I'm wondering, because Biden is Irish and super Irish, and he has refused the invitation to go to the coronation of King Charles. I'm wondering if he took a trip to Ireland to be like, fuck yeah, I'm Irish. And that's what he did. So, yeah, it might be his super Irishness being Irish. That's my guess. His horniness, the Dalai Lama. Okay. Julius, rest in peace, Gad Saad. I did break that man's ego, didn't I? Oh, it was fun, though. I'm your friend. Aloha from Wahoo. Yeah, hello. Ron Johnson, 4 p.m. Eastern, Central, or Pacific Standard Time. Well, right now. Dakota, Gregory, Chadswick, Duckingsworth the fourth. Afternoon, everyone. Afternoon. Second shift. Super chat. We know the GME squeeze play, but can we discuss the long play? Does this have Amazon potential? And if so, how? Rough future stock price guesses. Well, Chewy, when Chewy was at like $5 billion in sales, it was worth $30 billion. GME is over $5 billion in sales. They're at 6, 7. Market cap GME 6.91, so not quite 7 billion. So basically it's almost 1-to-1 market cap to sales at the moment, a little over 1-to-1. That is not how it should be. It should be valued much higher than that. So 4 times higher. Yeah, about 4 times higher, which means the stock price should be $100 a share or thereabouts. Will be illogical for its current number of sales. The growth potential, I think, is there. Some are saying the growth potential isn't quite there because the gaming industry is kind of stagnant, but they're definitely branching out from gaming. That's why I think they're going to be doing Gmerica and looking to sell things other than just game-related stuff. You know, they're going to branch into toys. They're going to branch into probably clothing. You got the rumors about Teddy becoming a bookseller. So my guess is that they may, you have maybe 2 options. Maybe you got the GME platform for selling things online, or you've got a GME parent company and a whole bunch of different websites that sell stuff. You might have like the Bed Bath & Beyond website. You might have the Teddy website. You might have the, I don't know, cleaningsupplies.com, whatever it might be. And that would give the potential to claw back a good chunk of the internet space that is occupied by Amazon. And we've seen Amazon, it's hurting this year. After huge growth during the COVID lockdowns, there's a lot of pullback because A, people don't have the cash to spend, and B, they're not at home doing all their shopping. When people were saying that brick and mortar was going to die, which was just even a couple of years ago, before like 2019, before COVID, online retail was still only 8% of all retail. So most purchases being made were in store, in the grocery store, in Walmart, in Target, etc., Costco. Only 8% was online. So the growth potential was there to do a lot more. I think we may have hit some of a wall on that growth potential, simply because there's a lot of stuff people can be like, oh, you know what, I'm going to buy that, click, but they can wait a few days. But also a lot of things people buy because they need it now. And it's easier and cheaper to just go to the store and do it than to pay some like dash cart dude to shop at a store and get you the wrong products, and then it costs you $30 in a tip and the delivery fee is insane. That's just not sustainable. So my guess is that if you're going to claw out your chunk of retail, you're going to have to take it away from the big guy, which is Amazon. And it sounds like in the rumor mill, that's sort of what Ryan Cohn is trying to do. Is he's like, all right, Amazon, let's just take this piece from you and people will go to us instead of you. You know, we'll sell everything for 50 cents cheaper, $1 cheaper, whatever, and see how long that lasts. Where am I? Okay. Dan Petra, when Moon gotta pee. Hopefully you got that out of the way. G-Font, collateral, that's why crypto pumps. Yeah, I mean, they pump crypto, they sell it, they use that cash as collateral on their margins and everything else. And because 90% of crypto is owned by 3% of crypto owners, those few crypto owners can do a really, really, really good job pumping. They can pump like crazy because they control the majority of it. So they can bring it down when they want. They can bring it up when they want. Oshi Gaming, Wasabi? Sure. Mark Stallone, still no word from Rosa's judge. We have no word from Rosa's judge. This is true. I think he's got until the 8th of May to say something. And I wouldn't doubt if something gets filed by Rosa between now and then, just because FINRA's really just been tripping over themselves. Peace Attack. Canadian real estate seems to be still going crazy. Places in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia are going for the same price as places in LA. I wonder if we have just decided on inflation. The Canadian job numbers are bonkers. Have you guys read about that? Like, they're adding like 100,000 jobs a month in a population of 30 million people. That's just insane. I don't know how or why or what you guys got going on, especially with everyone, you know, like 90% of your mortgages are due to reset at just stupid high interest rates. I don't know how you Canadians are doing it, honestly. But you're doing it. SS Mail Johnson, is it racist for a white guy to call a black guy a white boy? I mean, why would a white guy call a black guy a white boy? Here in the gym, everyone was very confused. I would be confused too. I don't know why that would happen. Anxiety Lord, going to Singapore this weekend. Want anything? A rich wife? I don't know. I want to go to Singapore because I want to go to that hotel that has like the weird giant pool that spans the 2 towers and go swimming in that thing. That looks awesome. You guys know what I'm talking about? Singapore hotel pool towers. This place here. This thing is like a giant pool up top. Images. Yeah, I want to go there. I want to do that. That looks awesome. Can I do that, please? Can I go to this giant tower and swim in that thing and, I don't know, hawk loogies off the top or something? I want to do that. Can I do that, please? Look at that guy. Look at that thing. Space age, dude. That's the Jetsons, right? That's the Jetson pool. Worked for Stanley Sprocket when you play in that pool. That's so cool. I want that. For no other reason. That's the only reason I really want to go to Singapore is to go swim in that pool. So do that for me while you're there. It'll make me very happy. Send some pictures of you in that pool, just living your best life. I wonder if Gardner's done that. When he was working for Oakley, he had to go to Singapore a lot. And I wonder if he ever got to do that. I'll have to ask him. But look at that thing. That's just so cool. I want to cannonball that bitch. So, looks like they didn't have a railing before. It was an infinity pool. And they must have put a railing in there. Because now there's a railing. Or maybe the railing, maybe it's infinity pool and the railing is below it. That might be what it is. So you actually can't see the railing from this angle. No, that looks like the railing's fairly high. I don't know. Hard to tell. Like you can't see the railing there, but that's just, I don't know. Infinity pools are rad. I want to go there. Well, I could just stare at those pictures all day long. But yes, Anxiety Lord, that's what I want you to do for me. Augie, Houston, can you explain how Acme shareholders that are not plaintiffs will be affected if RICO case is brought against nefarious actors? Any and all info is appreciated. Rosa's input too. I got conflicting reports. So Rosa was talking about if RICO is the case, it's a crime against the state. The state collects things. And then someone else said, no, if RICO is the case, you can get 3 times the damages. But I still don't know if it's us that gets 3 times the damages or if it's the government that gets 3 times the damages. So that might be something to ask Rosa. We still need to reschedule a show for questions. So for a Q&A show. I'll see if she can do it this Saturday. I'll send her a message when the show's over and see what she can do. But I don't know enough about securities law to say one way or the other confidently, so I'll let her do that. Don Caesar Shadem. I missed the last 2 shows. My job increased my workload. I hate it. Question. The dimension beyond our 4. Mathematical construction, reality, both. I lean more towards mathematical construction. Multi-dimensional space beyond the 4th dimension is, to me, not practical, nor a good use of energy, and I don't think it exists. Plus, any testing we've done to prove that such dimensions exist have not panned out. So all the predictions made by quantum mechanic string theory people have been wrong. String theory's been around for 50 years. Every single prediction string theory has made has been wrong. They've tested it again and again and again, and every time it's wrong, every time they like fudge the math to change it again, I just don't think string theory in its multidimensional space is correct. It's just a waste of energy. And on like a classical mechanics point of view, it doesn't work. It's physically impossible to have everything's the same string. The strings just vibrate at different frequencies, and that's what makes different particles. No, it's not. That's not how strings work. If everything's the same string, then everything's the same. That's the way guitar works. Like, you got to change the tension or the length of the string for it to be a different frequency. And if there's no mechanics to change the length or the tension, then what do you have? They go through them all. I can't remember what they call all of them, but really it was just like the same dimension over and over and over again until you get the 10th dimension, which is emit, which is just time backwards. This is a clever little thing. It's EMIT. And it's just a backwards dimension. Okay, dude. No. I may have told this story, but Alexei Filipenko, he's a astronomer from University of California, Berkeley, and he headed the team that discovered dark energy. And when they released their paper in 1998, I think they're at like the American Astronomical Society, which is like the big gathering every year for astronomers. And he's given a talk about his paper. Like, hey, we discovered that the universe is not only expanding, but it's accelerating its expansion, and there's some unknown force causing this to happen that is outside the realm of any of our understood forces. So we're calling it dark energy. And this string theory nerd's like, excuse me, string theory says that's impossible. And Lex Filipenko's like, I don't give a shit, dude. Like, it's happening. You can say your little math problem says it's impossible, but it's happening. So you're wrong. I'm right. Shut up. And then a year later, he's giving another talk on dark energy. Same guy's like, oh, I found the error in my calculations. String theory now says that dark energy is possible. And again, Alex Filipenko was like, I don't give a shit. Like, who cares what your little math problem says is or isn't possible? Because you guys have never been right. And that's kind of how the way it goes with string theorists. One-dimensional, two-dimensional space, three-dimensional space, what we're in, and fourth-dimensional space is just time. Anything beyond that is speculation and a waste of energy, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think there's parallel universes. If there are, where's the energy come from? I don't know. But it's certainly not evident in our own universe. Where was I? Oh, Pizza Tech. Also, do you think the American dollar might be better to hold than Canadian dollar since the Fed is still increasing its interest rates and Canada's like, we're good? Well, right now the exchange rate is pretty darn good. When I was in BC a couple weeks ago, it was not quite 2002 levels, but it was pretty decent. It was like a 30-35% benefit have US dollars. 2002 was like 50% was the exchange rate, and that was insane. Plus, lift tickets were so cheap then. It was really great time to be alive. But when the economy crashed, 08, 09, there was a period of time where the Canadian dollar inverted, I think for the first time. When was that? Like 2011? When was it? Oh, I don't want 2023, dude. Give me. Sometimes Google gives me only like the most recent things, and I don't want the most recent things. I want something from like 2011. Is it 2011? Yep. Okay. Yeah, this is it. 2000 was right. 2011. So July 21st, 2011, the Canadian dollar was $1.06 US. So the Canadian dollar was stronger than the US dollar, and Canada was like, no, 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 because we have a lot of manufacturing in Canada that we bring to the US because it's cheaper to get it done in Canada, and all of a sudden it was more expensive in Canada to get these things built. So the Canadians definitely had to get over that. So, yeah. So it was. My guess is that if the U.S. dollar crashes, Canada will probably have to deflate their own dollar to maintain their manufacturing core, because U.S. is their largest trading partner. So it's good thoughts. Canada at the moment might be like, we're good at the moment because they know they're about to face a giant housing crash. But when they face a giant housing crash, they're going to have to devalue their own dollar because they don't want to remain stronger than the U.S. dollar. Nothing jive about Jupiter. Ron Johnson had birthday Houston. I was filming part of my sci-fi film at the Valley of Fire. Why and how is there so much honeycombing or beehiving in that formation? Valley of Fire. It's out in the Mojave. These look like rhyolites, perhaps. Hope you guys can't see. Valley of Fire. So here we go. 4,000 acres, bright red Aztec sandstone outcrops nestled in gray and tan limestone. Valley of Fire State Park contains ancient petrified trees, petroglyphs dating back more than 2,000 years. Visitor Center provides exhibits the geology, ecology, prehistory, and history of the park. Okay. Give me pictures. Let's go. Images. Really cool banding. That's for sure. That's neat. That's real neat. Okay. So if you're getting lots of like little holes and pukas in what you got there, that's going to be the limestone. So anything acidic starts to eat away the limestone pretty easily. So yeah, so these holes here are forming because acidic rainwater just kind of ate it away and made for holes. These guys, that's all going to be in the limestone, causing that to happen. And then it's got sandstone layers. Sandstone generally won't eat away as easily because it won't have as high of a carbonate content, but you get these little slot canyons here, and these are all eating away because of flash flooding. So the flash flooding comes through and just gobbles them up. But this banded stuff, this is like what's that place in Arizona, Monkey? The one all the Instagram people go to. You know the one, the Wave. The Wave, that's what it's called. This is banding between the limestone and sandstones, and so this may have to do with ancient sea level heights. So at one level, water may flood in, and it might be high enough that little creatures lay down limestone, and then the water gets up really high, and so then all of a sudden silt goes on top of it, and it makes another layer at a higher level, and it pulls back down and makes so it can go back and forth depending on sea level heights. So this is probably representative of millions of years of sea level change based upon glaciations and things like that. I think it's uplifted eventually. And you can see in the background, all this gray stuff in the background of this picture, that looks like a whole bunch of just straight up limestone. So that was probably ancient seabed. That'd be my guess. Without actually reading about the geologic history of it, that would be what I would say it is. Ronnie E92 Houston, is Ken Griffin getting sued for insurance fraud? I think he needs liquidity and art is not liquid. I saw that he is mentioned in a lawsuit by Lloyd's, I believe it is, who's the insurer, that he has not responded to subpoenas. I'm not sure exactly what it's about. Okay, this is from Reddit. Ken Griffin was sued by artwork insurers for not responding to a subpoena. Lloyd's of London, Great Lakes SC, Swiss RE, and AIG are suing because they believe Ken has info on a fire at Ron Perelman's house that allegedly destroyed several paintings. The media is not covering this. So he may have info on the fire, please, but they're not. So that's weird. So he's being sued because he's not responding to petition to enforce subpoena is brought in connection with insurance coverage litigation in New York State that in turn arises from a fire at the East Hampton, New York summer home of businessman Ron Perelman, known as The Creeks. The operative second amended complaint was filed in January 2002. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing here. It's filed in January 2022, so a year ago, Supreme Court of New York. One thing to say the Supreme Court of New York, that is really just regular court. Oops. What am I doing? What's happening? I want to click on that. It's, for some reason, New York calls their like county, district, and superior courts Supreme Court. It's not the Supreme Court. Petitioners discovered that Mr. Griffin visited the Creek August 2020 to view two highly valuable paintings, Cy Twombly, Untitled, and another painting hanging close by. The Twombly painting is one of the 5 at issue in the underlying litigation. Mr. Griffin's testimony is relevant to and proportional to the underlying insurance coverage in New York. Mr. Griffin has personal knowledge of the sale and attempted sales of artworks that were in the creeks during the fire. There is a ruling in underlying New York action concerning a discovery dispute and determined that that information concerning such sales is highly relevant. Petitioners are entitled to Mr. Griffin's account of exactly what he personally observed and discussed concerning the sale and attempted sale of artworks that were in the creeks during the fire in the form of admissible sworn testimony. So basically, Ken Griffin's a witness and he's refusing to comply. So they're trying to get the court to compel him to comply. Interesting, shady, interesting. Just all I have to do is tell you like, oh, I just look at the paintings, they're fine, and submit that, and then the court will probably be happy. But he's just not doing anything, which is weird. Daphne, she's out in Spain, living her best life. How are things going on that side of the Atlantic? Haven't watched any TV in a few weeks. The world's falling apart. I got former presidents being indicted. We've got governors tripping over their schlongs with Disney. We've got World War III. You know, just average stuff happening. Not much has changed. Quiet Quest. Any MMTLP news? Nothing new since what was it? The emails that came out last week. So nothing there at the moment. Just waiting. Just sitting by and waiting. When Moon, did you finish a jigsaw puzzle with your mom? Of course. We are puzzle masters. We did a 550 piece puzzle in 2 hours. So, you know, we got that sucker down. Tell us about Saturn. Saturn also has liquid metallic hydrogen. Its glorious rings are probably not that old, maybe 1 million years old or so. Likely the result of something breaking up as it approached Saturn and hit the Roche limit, which is where the tidal forces tug can rip things apart because the acceleration at one end is so different from the acceleration at the other end. And the rings are largely maintained by what we call shepherd moons. There's little micro moons that go around and they keep everything in the rings, tidy. They're really neat. Let's see here. There's some pictures of shepherd moons. Shepherd moons. Images. Yeah, so we've got these little moons here that keep everything in line. These little guys, they're like little balls of ice, and they maintain the rings of Saturn. You can see like the warping that happens as they go by, little wakes as they leave. They got lots of these little moons that are inside the layered rings of Saturn, and they just sort of keep the rings aligned. They are really goofy. We've named some of them. We got names for all the different rings. They're neat little dudes. So we got a bunch of moons that are labeled inside of the rings, and then we have the other moons that are outside the rings, more traditional moons. But these rings come and go on large bodies like this. So oftentimes when you get an object, comet, asteroid, whatever it's going to impact, they get ripped apart when they hit the Roche limit, and they'll form rings. Now, Saturn's rings are very large and very impressive, and much larger than any of the other gaseous planets' rings. But they all have Jupiter has rings, Neptune has rings, Uranus has rings, but Saturn's are spectacular and might be fairly unique in their size. We don't know because we still haven't visualized a bunch of other planets, but it seems like Saturn's rings are probably unique in the universe. They're more thin and hard to see, like Jupiter's. But they got shepherd moons. There you go. Jigish Shukla. Internet Houston, what do you think about the Star Wars films announced last weekend? So the only one I read about was like about the original Jedi or something. It's like a prequel that dates thousands of years previous to any other Star Wars things. It's about like the guy who discovers the Force. I think that's a neat idea. I don't know what the other ones are. New Star Wars films introduced. Gosh dang, I cannot type to save my life. 3 new Star Wars movies announced. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, James Mangold one. Who did Logan, and Logan is a freaking amazing movie. So if he's doing one, I hope it's quite adult. Yeah, Dave Filoni did The Mandalorian, okay. And so Charmin Obaid-Chinoy did Miss Marvel, I haven't seen Saving Face. So they got some cool directors in there. James Mangold's movie will go back to the dawn of the Jedi, while David Filoni's will focus on the New Republic and close out interconnected stories as told in The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and other Disney series. Charmin's will be set after the events of Star Wars Rise of Skywalker and feature Daisy Ridley back as Rey as she builds a new Jedi Order. Oh, okay. All right. So then we'll have one continuing the original series. We've got one spur and one prequel. I like that idea. I do think that my guess is the Mandalorian Boba Fett one's gonna be much more cartoonish because that's their audience. I hope that James Mangold's is much more adult along the lines of Andor. Andor was just the world building in Andor. Seriously, is the greatest world building I've seen in any sci-fi ever. Absolutely incredible, and it was really adult. It wasn't cartoonish. It was for adults, not kids. I mean, the opening scene is literally prostitutes in a window in a red light district. And I was like, what is this going to be about? And it's a very slow burn, but each time you're like, that was an interesting hour. They painted a really good picture of all these different worlds that they were on, and like the politics involved, and like the grind of this corporate fascism that was the empire, and like the people that were the cogs in this. aren't necessarily thinking about anything other than like, I need to climb this ladder. There was not much politics behind it. It was just like, well, this is the system we're in, and if I want to be on top, this is what I got to do. And then splice that with the rebels and their push and move to free themselves from the oppression that is this like monotonous, unrelenting grind of the fascist state of the empire. I really hope at least one of them has that like gritty, dirty adult storytelling to it. And I can do the kitty, look at this goofy little animatronic creature thing. But I really like the adultness of Andor. It was good. Quite Quest. Can they both lose Rosa Case and get hit with Rico? Yeah, of course. There may be, what might happen is you might get filings in these other cases asking like, oh, can we just consolidate this into one case and make it class action? They might do that with Allen's and what's his name, Hoffman's, one in Washington, one in California. Rosa's is not asking for anything monetary, and she's asking for something very specific, which is a change in behavior. And so hers might not get included in something like that. Again, if I can get her on for a Q&A, that's something we can definitely ask her. What the potentials are for that. Belgian Whale, I'm in Tulum, Mexico now. Last 2 days of the 3-week road trip. Mo asked me so we can do this forever. You're in Tulum. You are in the playground of all those Instagram booty models. They love going to Tulum. So, say hi to those Instagram booty models for us. AP is possibly the lost city of Atlantis. No. The Eye of Africa is not the lost city of Atlantis. It is a ancient eroded away volcano. There's that one dude on YouTube who does his entire channel is the lost city of Atlantis. Look, this was Atlantis. No, it was not. It's an old volcano. The geology bores out very clearly that it's an old volcano. Rob Murphy, if AMC is 1,000% cost to borrow, what does that cost to borrow per share? Multiply the price per share by 10. So if it's $5, it's costing $50 to borrow, which is telling me that not much borrowing is happening. That if they're selling it at all, they're selling shares that don't exist. Because why on earth would you pay $50 to borrow a share and sell it? Only if you're super desperate and you're being forced to cover would you probably do that. But again, you can like buy the share for $5. So why? When I see cost of borrows go crazy like that, to me that says it's only the most desperate who are doing it. Augie, Houston, what is your understanding of Elon's X-Corp plan? Does he have a plan or just speculation at this point? Well, Elon wanted to make a payment system app back in the day called X.com. And he got started with it, didn't get very far, and got gobbled up by the entity that eventually formed PayPal. And they put him in charge of PayPal, and he dropped the ball in a big way. After a few short months, he got fired as CEO of PayPal for, quote, compounding problems with the website and having no business plan. Basically, he took a system that was working, and he told all his coders, like, erase everything, let's do a massive rewrite, and then broke the entire system, which is what's happening with Twitter right now, is that he's like, we're just forget everything, we're going to do a massive rewrite, and he's just breaking the entire system. It's things being held together with, like, chewing gum and popsicle sticks. But his dream is he wants to make an app like Weibo in China. Weibo in China is, their TikTok, their Twitter. They use it to pay for things, order stuff, get deliveries. So that it's like they can use it for their Ubers. They can use it for food delivery. They can use it to make payments to each other. They can use it to pay their rent. They can use it to it's a one-stop shop. The big problem Elon has is that to make an app like that, you're going to need 5,000 or 10,000 programmers. But he fired them all. He doesn't have 5,000 or 10,000 programmers. and no one wants to work for him. So, because why have loyalty to a guy who will just, like, the minute you say, like, it's probably not a good idea, we should probably do it this way, he's like, you're fired. And then he won't pay the severance that he promised. I think long term, Elon's plans for this X-Corp to make Twitter into a one-stop shop is just the stupidest way he could possibly do it, and it'll fail miserably. Like, Twitter was a moderately successful business. Yeah, they weren't quite making a profit, but they weren't losing tons of money, and they had years of viability. And if you wanted to buy them, you could tweak a couple of things and all of a sudden be profitable, I think. If you wanted to make a one-stop shop, the smart thing to do would be to form X-Corp, hire a bunch of programmers, and then just do it. Do it from scratch. Don't try to, like, turn Twitter into something it isn't, and then ruin it in the process and lose just billions. 89% of advertisers have left Twitter. That's a $4 billion loss. Right? It's a company that only made $5 billion in revenue, and he's lost $4 billion of it. And then his plan to, like, sell Twitter Blue has only made $11 million. So he's lost so much money, and he's like, oh, fired everyone, now I'm saving $600 million. You still lost $4 billion in advertisers, so the $600 million you saved isn't saving you jack spit right now. I just don't understand any of it. Like, change his name to Harry Balls as a joke. Oh, it's so funny, I changed his name to Harry Balls, because he so wants to be a shit poster. But you just, if you're worth $200 billion and you don't have a sense of humor, you cannot be a successful shit poster. Like, if Elon wanted to be a successful shit poster, he would make an anonymous account that would say jokes, and then he would get known as being a shit poster as an anonymous account, and then he could be like, haha, it was me all along, dorks. But he doesn't have the skill or ability. It's easy to pretend to be serious. It's impossible to pretend to be witty. And he's been desperately trying for so long to be witty, and just isn't happening. Posting 5-year-old memes is not how you become a successful shit poster. And it's not how you run a successful multi-billion-dollar company, nor is it a way to entice further investment from people into things like SpaceX and Boring and Tesla. Is absolutely getting people right. I think he's on his Howard Hughes, like, trajectory right now. Pretty soon he'll be locked up in his penthouse casino, and no one will hear from him for 30 years. That's my feeling. Like, if you're going to start something from scratch, start it from scratch. Don't buy something and ruin it, and then turn it to something that people may necessarily want. I don't know. X-Corp's going to get sued like crazy because they have not paid severance to any of the people they fired. Privacy violations are happening like crazy. CSAM violations are happening like crazy. There is going to be billions of dollars in fines happening from the EU and the FTC to Twitter, or now X-Corp as they call it, that I don't think there's any viability in the long term to the whole thing. They might just get fined out of existence here soon. Talvin 4, man, if I can get an Earth roamer, I'd be cruising nonstop. Me too, Talvin. That is the dream. Have myself a sweet, sweet Earth roamer, or equivalent. I'll take a Tiger. I'll take a Unimog. Just something badass that I can just pull over, fall asleep, haul enough equipment so I can smash some rocks. Daphne went ahead and picked up some more BBBY. Hope it goes up. Me too. That'd be great. Daniel Motes, happy birthday. Houston, can you give thoughts on why GME hasn't had volatility in months besides earnings? Seems like way more people buy now versus ever, and always seems to go down in price. The only way I can see it is that they're still flooding the market with shares that don't exist, because so much of the float is locked up in DRS. People who buy don't sell, and there's no volatility, so there's no point in selling. Like, the price isn't freaking out and going up and down like crazy, so the day traders aren't really touching it. So my guess is that any buy volume is being met with shares that don't exist, and they're just increasing their naked positions. That'd be my guess. Just bodies, MFers be putting doctor in their screen name, but the degree is in philosophy or some shit. I'm okay with them putting doctor in their screen name if they've got a doctor of philosophy or whatever. But I think in their bio, they should tell you what kind of doctor they are. Because you have that Naomi Wolf chick who's a doctorate in English, and she's pretending like she has a health degree, some kind of, like a medical doctorate, and telling everyone all about like vaccines and science that she has wrong constantly because she doesn't know shit about science. She's an English major. But yeah, there's those folks that definitely should be catapulted to the moon. I also don't think a doctor in chiropractic should exist. I don't think you should be allowed to call yourself doctor and be a chiropractor. Just be like, I have a degree in chiropractic. That's it. I shouldn't be like, I'm Dr. Reginald Habstorm, and it's just a guy who's a chiropractor. Like, no. That I do not agree that they should be called doctor. Because they're not. They're just not doctors. They don't do enough studying in a special field of anything relevant to be a doctor. I just don't think they should be doctors. Tim Saunders, I like Houston, but you can't hold a candle to Gad Saad. I can. Gad Saad's a moron. He's a bigot and a piece of shit, and he sucks. Like, he's just a terrible person, and he's studying the evolution of behavioral. He is an unevolved person himself. He's just a clown. He's a clown. And I don't care how big your following is. If your entire following is a result of you being a bigot towards other human beings, then you just have a bunch of clowns following. You're just leading a clown parade, in my opinion. And if you can so damage someone's ego so easily by pointing out that they're a clown, he's a sad man. SS Mill Johnson, did you open up the charity show you locked due to blowing up and getting really angry at chat? No, I haven't done that. I was going to edit it and I just never got around to it. So no, that's a year ago. It's still closed. Dakota Gregory, Chadswick Duckingworth IV. Is reverse repo a way to slow the velocity of money? Yes. Yes, it is. Because if you allowed the banks to just play with this cash, right? They have $2.4 trillion to play with. If they flood the market at $2.4 trillion, that means they're giving out car loans, home loans, investing in companies, etc. They're dumping $2.4 trillion back into the economy. Then that is going to be used to buy stuff. People will be like, oh, sweet, I got another $1,000 on my credit card. I'm swipe. They go on vacations, they buy cars, they buy new homes. The velocity of money just goes crazy and inflation skyrockets. So by doing the reverse repos, the Federal Reserve takes that cash and basically gives them a huge amount of interest on it. Talking like 5% plus. So the banks are like, well, I could lend this out to people and it could be sketchy as hell and I can get 2-3% back on it. Or I could put in these reverse repos every night and get 5+% on it. So that's what they're doing. And that's why the reverse repos are growing, because the Federal Reserve is paying out so much interest rate for these things every night that even more money is going in there, which it will eventually serve as a way to quickly dump money into the economy when everything crashes and inflation finally comes down. Is that they'll just turn off the reverse repos, and all of a sudden $2.4 trillion will flood the market, and we'll get people jobs again, whatever. That seems to be what they're doing. So yeah, it's purposely a way to slow down the velocity of money because they printed too much during COVID, and they have to like put it somewhere so it's not being used. Wait, Wild Houston just watched UFC 287. Pretty good fights, enjoyed it. But why, oh why, are UFC fighters worshiping Trump and DeSantis? Why did Trump sit cage side? I don't get it. It's not because of the KOs. I don't know, man. Vince McMahon and Trump are good buddies. They're now Vince McMahon's now a business partner with UFC. Trump did a whole bunch of WWF stuff. I honestly have no idea. Brain damage? I don't know. MS CNBC gets ripping lawmakers becoming rich by trading right now. They should. Lawmakers should not be allowed to trade stocks. If you want to become a member of the House, Senate, anything, you got to put everything to a blind trust and not know what's going on. That's it. No trading. No trading for you. No trading for your family members. No trading for your friends. Like, you can't be like, hey, Steve, we're about to give a huge contract to Lockheed Martin. Like, you shouldn't be able to say stuff like that. You go to prison for it. But they've got a carve-out that's special to them and no one else, and I think that needs to be eliminated. And the good thing is that there's a bipartisan support to do that. I just need to be able to get it actually voted on in both chambers. Daphne, Dalai Lama has dementia. It might be what's happening too. That all of a sudden, his prefrontal cortex is like, yeah, I probably shouldn't say that out loud. And he's like, well, I'm saying it out loud right now. So, yeah. Dog Mom, Houston's on. I missed you. All right, Dog Mom. Sean Lauer, Houston, apparently BBBY put an S1 and 8K out. Should I get wet downstairs? Is that today? They're going up after hours a little bit. They're at 33 cents. They had a low of 29 or something happening. Filings, 410. What we got here? What do we got? S1 just came out. Okay. What's in their S1? I'm sure it's 900 pages. It is very long. Okay. 111 million shares of common stock. Project the resale up to blank shares. So they haven't said how many shares. That's really small writing. Holy smokes. Okay. Risk factors, page 11's prospectus. About this prospectus. Registration statement. The company has filed with Securities Exchange Commission. This is about them. They want to sell shares. This is their official announcement. They want to sell shares. Okay. We are an omnichannel retailer. Makes it easy for customers to feel at home. We sell a wide assortment of merchandise, home, baby markets, operate Bed Bath & Beyond, and Bye Bye Baby. We offer a broad assortment of national brands. So they're definitely making it known Bye Bye Baby is an entity here. Okay, recent developments, blah, blah, blah. Company has amendment, credit agreement. Okay, market offer program. Company ordered the sale agreement at the market agreement with B. Riley Securities. B. Riley Securities as a sale agent to offer and sell additional shares of common stock, having an aggregate sales price of up to $300 million from time to time through the companies at the market offering. So they're going to sell slowly, just like GME. Bomb filing. The company has sold approximately 100 million shares for approximately $48 million. Net proceeds going out the market agreement. The proceeds have been used to satisfy conditions pursuant to amended credit agreement. So basically, they're selling cheap. They sold 100 million shares cheap to pay off some debt they have. Okay. Man, this writing is so small. Why did they make it so small? Per share sold. Agreement proposed calculating volume of shares. No restrictions, future financing, rights, refusal. My guess is they may announce that they sold those 100 million shares specifically to someone, maybe not necessarily at the market, or someone agreed to buy those if they did it. Wink, wink. Okay, risk factor is going to be like, we have no money. Our stores are closing. Blah, 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 blah. We've been mismanaged like crazy. We've got too much debt. All right. Prospectus relates to the resale of up to 111,747,196 shares of common stock, consisting of blah, 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 blah. Shares of common stock outstanding, 558 million as of then. Okay. All right. So risk factors can be long. We're doomed. That's basically risk factors. What do we have in? Let's see. Let's see what Control F. Let's see how many times I mentioned squeeze. Short squeeze due to sudden increase in demand, share prices exceed focus. Investor trading potential short squeeze have led to, maybe currently leading to, or could lead to extreme price volatility. So it's mentioned 14 times. Boom, boom. Extended volatility in our company is caused, is widely been reported, by a short squeeze in which coordinated trading activity causes a spike of the market price. Okay. And risk factor, short squeeze due to sudden increase in demand for our shares. And folks, retail investor, potential short squeeze have led to, may lead to, currently lead to, again, extreme price volatility. A short squeeze due to sudden increased demand. Short potential squeeze to have led to, it's often true to short squeeze, described short squeeze, short squeeze, short squeeze, short squeeze, short squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dang. 8. Yeah, so we got 14 mentions of short squeeze here. That's a lot. Okay. All right, so let's see what they got in the, what's the 8K? 8K, what do you got for me? Okay. Definitive agreement. So this is them amending some credit agreements. My guess is perhaps to extend when principals due. Let's see here. Purchase, acquire any shares of common stock for purchase agreement. Okay, they're talking about a reverse stock split. The vote would be in May 9th or something. Because, yeah, stock price gone from 80 cents down to 30 cents and so on. Forward-looking statements, blah, blah, blah. So this is them preparing for their reverse stock split, which is coming. Okay. All right, cool. I'll have to dive into that more later because the writing's so small, I just can't, my brain can't look at it right now. Garnet Ogre, victory. 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 Hey, I'm only an hour behind in the chat. Fantastic. Houston, ever snorkel Molokini volcano? Gorgeous. Too bad it is not as healthy as once sun lotion. I have not snorkeled Molokini volcano. No, I've never been out to the outer islands, so I've never had a chance to go there. But yes, this is the ring of an ancient caldera, or may not say caldera, but more pu'u. little cinder cone. Yeah, they're cool. It's a cool little spot. I heard it's really, really gorgeous, but I have not had a chance to go there. There's this little guy off Maui right there. There were some boats that'll take you out there, but when I was in Maui, the last time I was in Maui, I had like a 10-day long head cold, and it just consisted of basically sleeping on the beach, sleeping in the condo, sleeping on the beach, sleeping in the condo, and that was basically what we did. But no, I've not had a chance to go out there yet. But yeah, go snorkel out there, hang out with some Instagram models, just like Belgian whale out in Tulum. Dakota, Gregory, Chadwick, Duckingsworth the Fourth. People hate Amazon and love GME though. Amazon makes a ton of cash outside of stuff sold on Amazon, like Amazon Web Services. Yep. Amazon Web Services is gigantic. Half the internet is run on Amazon Web Services. Justin G sees New York Supreme Court, which is also just the regular court in New York, has ordered Trump's accounting firm Whitley Penn to hand over crucial tax documents to the AG. Uh-oh. That dude he's going to have so many indictments, and he doesn't have enough good lawyers to fight this stuff. Right now, he's sort of doing the oh my gosh, monkey. The Gaddafi thing, where like you just surround yourself with a bunch of babes. Like, remember Gaddafi's like all-woman bodyguard detail? Trump's doing that, but with lawyers. He's just like, you're a hot babe and you've got a law degree. Come be my lawyer. And they're like, okay. And they don't seem to be actually hiring them based upon their skill. He's just like, you just do what I say and look good. And they're like, okay. He can't seem to get top-notch law firms to represent him at these hearings. It doesn't look good for him. If you can't get, if you are a former president and you cannot entice a top 10 law firm to defend you in court, that is bad sign. I mean, he can't even get a top 1,000 law firm to defend him in court. I mean, it would help if you paid your attorneys. If you pay your attorneys, then like you could retain a high level of attorneys. But if you don't pay them, people stop saying, yeah, I'll do that for you, because you just never pay them, and they do like hundreds of thousands of dollars of work, and they're out that money, and then they got to sue you. Instead of getting sued by the good attorneys and you're being defended by the worst attorneys, and just basically work your way down until you're working with some like ambulance chaser DUI guy from like Coral Gables, and that's it. Daphne's still waiting for you to notice I'm not modding for her. I noticed, Daphne. You're in España, right? Right, monkey? Yes. Woo! Yeah, you want to go under the blanket, but you can't go under the blanket if you're on the blanket. That's the thing. Go like that. That work? Okay. Okay. William Morgan, is this live? Is this real life, William Morgan? John B. When I was at Berkeley, heavy flavor physics was the thing. Don't hear much about it now. Heavy flavor. I haven't noticed. Heavy flavor physics. Oh, it's physics beyond the standard model. So this is doing collisions. With LH. Well, they're just doing collisions at the LHC. Like, so looking for different types of quarks. Okay, that's what that's all about. All right. Yeah, they're still doing it. But it looks like it was big stuff about 10 years ago. Let's see here. Open heavy flavor hadrons, i.e. particles made of the latest heavy charm or beauty quarks and their lighter quarks. Excellent probes. Yeah, I don't know enough about quarks. I deal with big things. But yeah, they're still doing it. But looks like most of the experiments were run 2010 to 2014 or so. Daphne, she should play the After Dark theme for you. Anxiety Lord, that hotel in Singapore is money. That's an observation deck I went up to, but you can't swim without hotel stay. Oh, bummer. How much does that hotel cost? Let's look it up. Jin Singapore Orchard Gateway by Shangri-La. Oh, that's $242. That's not so bad. Oh, that's a different pool. Never mind. The wrong one. Wrong one. That's the one. What's this one? Okay, let me find it. Find the name of the sucker. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. This can be number one. I know that, so I gotta scroll down to number one here. Okay, you're not even listing it. What the heck? What is wrong with you? Tell me what the stupid pool is. Marina Bay Sands. Okay, so copy. Marina Bay Sands. Bam, bam, bam. All right, Marina Bay Sands. Let's see here. $1,000 is the cheapest room that looks like they have. No, $825. Okay, so for $825, you can get it. You get a from Mouse Trip. You get a room. Yeah, that's not a cheap hotel at all. Yeah, Marina Bay Sands. Check availability. Yep, $825. Yep. So what do you get for this closet? Come on, internet. You can do this. You can hook up this website. I know I've got faith in you. Never heard of Mousetrap. Oh, it just went up to $974. Okay. So let's choose that. All right. $974. Does it get a single or a double? Okay. Arranged on arrival. No meal included. So for $1,000, you can't even get a continental breakfast. Oh, for $1,084, so another $100 a night, you can get breakfast for two. There you go. So that's the deal. You can't afford a breakfast for $974, but for $1,084, you get breakfast. So book that. Make sure you book that one. Anxiety Lord should just chump change. Cost you nothing at all, and then you can go swimming for a day. Do something nice for yourself. You get breakfast. Jeez, my knees. That's Moa staying right there. Beef Supreme, let's see if Houston is defending Dalai Lama. Yeah, I'm not going to defend the Dalai Lama. Don't tell kids to suck your tongue. That's a no-no. It just goes to prove religious leaders cannot be trusted. RVing happens. Houston, the best investment for a credit crunch is the meme stocks. Probably. Yeah. BBBY brand Houston's wearing a shirt I can never wear. This is This looks like a boring yellow shirt, but like it's got these tiny little silk circles sewed into it. You can't really see on camera. It's a fancy shirt. It's like some fancy Banana Republic back when that meant something. Michael, Hero Houston, did your Cryptide shares turn to Octo, or did they disappear from your account after the reverse split? Oh, I haven't checked. I've been not paying attention at all because I don't. It's such garbage. Okay. Close. Let me know. Where did my Cryptide shares go? Come on. All right. Click there. Yep, looks like they cashed me out. Still have a whole bunch of worthless BBBY shares, but looks like they cashed me out of my Cryptide. Where? Yep. Looks like they're gone. No more Cryptide. It went down to like 8 cents. It's supposed to be a $10 share. Dude, the guys at BBBY just dropped the ball in the biggest way possible. It took them 9 months to finally like do their just I'm so disappointed in the BBBY everything. All right. Okay. Scott Lumley, Houston looks like GMG and No Labs are poised to seriously disrupt their chosen markets. Are there any other plays out there with the same potential? Not that I've heard of. I'm sure there are that I just haven't heard of. Probably dozens I haven't heard of. But those are the two I know. If I see others, I will talk about them. But at the moment, I don't know others. Would you date Whistler's mother? I mean, I don't know what she looks like under all that. Okay. Oh. All right, I got 7 minutes left, and I got to run away. So I'm gonna head down. Sorry, if I miss your chats, I am super sorry. I'm scrolling down here towards the bottom to get some of these more recent ones, and that'll be it for the day. Okay, where am I? Scott Paulin, Musk was put there to take down Twitter. The site was used for multiple civil uprisings. Duh. I mean, either he's masterfully planning the takedown of Twitter or he's accidentally doing it. One or the other. But it's definitely dying, is what it is. SS Minnow Johnson, Houston, between you and Elon, only one person is a billionaire, and I don't think it's you. He knows what he's doing. Does he, though? Does he? Elon has the comfort of being born obscenely rich. When you're born obscenely rich, you start on third base. It's very easy to turn that into something else based on the networking you have. But when it comes down to him actually proving that he knows things, he knows how to do things, he fails miserably. He's not an engineer, even though he's a chief engineer. He has no background engineering of any kind. He is not an engineer. He's not a computer programmer. He has no background in computer programming. He has a degree in economics that he got because Peter Thiel told Penn to give him a degree because he's about to be deported. And that was it. They're like, oh shit, well, here's a degree. Even though he didn't finish the requirements for the degree. That's what he has. When he's been given the opportunity to like do something himself, he has dropped the ball so badly. PayPal, boring's a shit show. Twitter's a shit show. Tesla is becoming a shit show. SpaceX exists solely because he's a really good marketer. He really knows how to like get out there, have his name known, and they're obviously doing a really good job with lobbying because SpaceX has got government contracts, government subsidies, government bailouts, government tax breaks, and that's the only reason they exist. If he loses the federal contracts, he's done. And those contracts go to Boeing or to Blue Origin. That's it. SpaceX doesn't exist anymore. Without those government contracts, they can't do Starlink. And without Starlink, they have no future. And Starlink is costing way more money than ever planned. The satellites are so much larger than the original vision. Like the satellite's supposed to be the size of a grapefruit, and these things are upwards of like a ton. And that the difference is if you're having to launch satellites that are 1,000 pounds or 2,000 pounds each into space at $10,000 a pound, those costs become insane. Especially when your plan was like, oh, in each load I'll launch like 2,000 of them because they're not supposed to be the size of a grapefruit, and in just a few loads we'll have all the satellites we need. And they're discovering they can't do that. And the fact that he's lost everybody so much money on Twitter, $44 billion. $44 billion for a company that makes about $1 billion a year is a terrible, terrible, terrible business move. Especially when it's going to cost you $1.5 billion a year in interest alone to facilitate the loans you took out to buy the sucker. So not only are you losing 50% off of just beyond what your revenue is on just the loans, but you still have to like pay the people to work there. And you're going to pay the lawsuits and the billions of dollars in fines he's going to get levied. He's going to get so many fines. And he's spending so much time focused on Twitter that Tesla is like crumbling. Investors are angry. He'll probably get ousted as CEO of Tesla at some point. And then Tesla stocks will collapse, which will collapse his entire net worth. And if he doesn't have Tesla, and if SpaceX is going to lose government contracts and Twitter's worthless, will he still be a billionaire? Will he? I don't have much faith in him. I think Elon is much dumber than he lets everyone think he is. Hairy balls. By the way, he's pronounced Jamaican man. Oh, a Jamaican man. Okay. Is it true NASA doctors suppose space? If so, why would they do that? Oh yeah, every image you see of space from a telescope is all doctored, because most of those images are in wavelengths of light you can't see. So we do what are called false color images, where we'll take like infrared and combine it with UV, and the image looks way cooler than what we can actually see with our naked eye because it's in wavelengths of light we can't see. The most important job at observatory is the Photoshop editor who makes the calendars and stuff. They're the ones who really like do it for everyone. So yeah, most of the images of space you see are doctored and not at all what you'd see naked eye. The visible spectrum of light is so tiny we can't see most stuff that's out there. Adam Aaron looks like he should be making cookies from inside a tree. Apparently he's a Keebler elf. Okay. All right. One more, and then I got to go for the day. Honey Horse, they have reverse split Tanks Therapeutics so many times, and now the float is only like 11 million shares. They have a drug going through stage 3 right now. Shares are like 35 cents. I don't know what Tanks Therapeutic is, but cool. If they get approved, shaboing, right? Okay. That's it for me. Monkey Butt. We got things to do. Everybody, I want to thank you for joining me. I'll be doing another show tomorrow. Sorry I didn't do one yesterday, but you know, when When mom wants to hang out, you gotta hang out with your mom. Gotta do it. Gotta do it while you can. All right, everybody. Yeah, let me go. Bye-bye.